It's a cold all night here at Parramatta Stadium. Peter Sterling leads the Parramatta side out to a very warm reception in front of their home crowd. King Sterlo. No Parramatta supporter would argue with that. And last out, of course, Brett Kenny. And the little general who tonight will be called upon for another superhuman effort. Parramatta has been walking the premiership tightrope for several weeks. Tonight, it's crunch time for them. Matt Goodwin has thrilled the crowd from time to time with some terrific charges.
Newcastle certainly have to look over their shoulders too, because Manly are only a point away. A chance for them to climb in the 5 if the Knights should stumble here at the stadium against the Eels. Are they good enough to make it? Plenty of supporters here have made the trip from Newcastle. They've given a great season so far. Michael Hagan, what a clash that will be, he and Kenny tonight. And a good crowd here at the stadium. Friday night football, a cool one, but it will soon hot up. Little reaction of this first half. Jeff Weeks in control. It might be a case of the Eels back line with the advantage. Mann, deep we go, right down to the in goal. Butterfield seemed to lose that, maybe in the lights. He regathered and comes back to about 9 metres out. Big pack of forwards, nobody at home. And nearly gave it up on the first tackle. Seen some incredible performances by Parramatta here at the stadium this year. Memorable clash against Canberra where they upset the Raiders. They'll be trying to bustle this Newcastle side early. Mullane will play at about 15 out. As forwards continue this roll on, they've been in great form for the Knights. Worth kicking downtown, but pretty well straight to Lydiard. He's returning from injury. Lost balance as he tried to step. Penalty to the Eels. Right from the start here, the Knights were just up too quick. They'll look for touch and they'll be on the attack straight away. And in good position. Lydiard was just wiping, I think, some grease off the football, although a bit of dew around as usual, Bill.
Yeah, just a little bit, Graham. It always seems to happen here at the Parramatta Stadium about this time of the evening, but there are a lot of points scored in the reserve grade game, so I think, you know, the first grader should be able to handle it pretty well.
Now Krajkovic is about to start for Goodwin, who folded. Now they go wide. Jason Bell out in the centres. Johnston. Two Johnstons in this match, and they're both Peter. One for the Knights and one for Parramatta. David Boyd penalised, so 2 in a row for the Eels will give Mann a chance at goal. Nearly 32 out.
A little bit of nerves there from the Newcastle side. They've almost given the ball up on an early play. The ball only 9 metres out from their line, and then this little aberration in the tackle, giving Mann an opportunity.
That's his position. The crowd just hushed as the action just stops for a moment for Mann to have this kick at goal. Chance for the forwards to get a breather. He is 32 out. He is only about 5 or 8 metres to the side of the post. Strikes it pretty well. Strikes it very well. The Eels grab an early lead. They lead 2 points to 0 over Newcastle.
Having trouble hanging on to the football there. Langford really had to struggle with that one. That's across the break. Just about on the 22. Penalty's going to go Parramatta's way. And Weeks getting Newcastle back. And Bill, Newcastle has been very quick to move up.
Very keen to get up on this Parramatta back line, aren't they? They're aware that that's where Parramatta are going to try and play them, but it's going to be no value coming up quickly if they're going to keep letting 2 points get registered against them.
So Scott Mann, successful with his first shot, has a sit-up. Michael Hagan, the skipper of the Newcastle side, will be warning his players not to be too keen or over keen. So Mann with his time. Makes no mistake. So a handy start for Parramatta. They go to 4-0 over Newcastle. And, well, McMahon, it's a forlorn look. Looks like he's going to break down and cry. Sterling wants it again. This time away for Langford. Inside the 22, and this is the last tackle. Sterling, up goes the bomb. Plenty of blue and gold jumpers going through. Worth trying to find a clear passage. The ball is loose, and the referee ruling no try.
Well, the Nissan replay, let's have a look at it. Came off the Parramatta player, went into the in-goal area. Or just on the in-goal area.
Now, Johnston's obviously had something to say to the referee. I think somebody's headed for the sin bin in just a few moments. The warning was definitely there to their skipper, Michael Hagan. Parramatta with the all-important feed. Sterling and Laurie maybe might work something here from the scrum base. This scrum starting to blow up a little. He's walking about 10 metres off the mark. Somebody's got 5. It had to happen. Peter Johnston. He's got a 5-minute spell. They're down to 12 men, the Knights.
And in a fairly critical position here. I mean, I think that that's a little bit...
Sterling quickly trying to catch the Knights unaware. He gets about a metre away. The Knights quickly try and gather on their line. Barnes had his pass knocked down. It will come back. Glanville was quickly to it.
Yes, Glanville there looking... he didn't have to retire 5 metres there because the play was close to the goal line. But he was able to get up and knock the ball down. But it still gives Parramatta a scrum feed.
Sterling. Kenny. Jackson on the inside. There was a hole for a moment. 5 metres away, the Eels. Kenny. Fence was up super quick. They forced them back about 5 or 6 metres. Drake had some trouble with the big man. They again have trouble with him standing. Barnes a dummy half. Lydiard on a short blind. They were all offside the Knights. Gordon was there sitting waiting.
Well, Gordon hasn't been onside for the last 3 rucks.
Sterling standing wide with Laurie. Showed it. Now unloads Sterling.
Oh.
Beautiful hands. Goodwin unloading here for an overlap. Out it goes. What a great try, Krankovic.
And put it down to Sterling. Magnificent hands there from Peter Sterling. Absolutely magnificent. We'll see it again on the Nissan replay, and you'll wonder at the speed with which he can get this ball away. Absolutely beautiful. Here he goes on the run around. Now look at this little bit of play here. Comes around Laurie. Stands in the tackle. Gets it behind him and almost in one movement gave the ball beautifully to Goodwin. The pass went out there to Jackson. Jackson gets it out to Krankovic, and Krankovic streaks over without anyone really being in position to tackle him. Now watch it again, Sterling. This will be a good way to see it. Laurie makes the bust originally, gets the pass away to Sterling, gets it on one hand and virtually turns the pass out to Goodwin. Goodwin beautifully out to Jackson. Jackson marvellously on there to Krankovic, and in for a very, very good try. That'll put the Parramatta side into great heart.
He was flying on the end of that, the 22-year-old student. 7 tries this season. And what a pass from Sterling. He caught it in one and just flicked it with his left. Mann strikes it well again. 1 up, 1 down. The referee says no goal. Dispute with the touch judges. The scoreline remains 8-0 to the Eels over the Newcastle Knights.
Well wrapped up. It certainly has been a much better passage of play in the last 5 minutes or so for Newcastle. Hagan for Doyle. Causing some problems. Doyle has made a couple of short breaks. Penalty's going to go Newcastle's way. This time it's Parramatta offside.
Yes, Doyle's the most incisive Newcastle back on display here at the moment. He's really a powerhouse player and a fellow that I admire because he invariably comes in and helps the forwards when they're under a bit of pressure, and he's a very straight, hard runner and a big lump of a lad.
And Gordon will attempt the honours. And it's a horror. Outside the left-hand upright. Newcastle can't get on the board. It's still Parramatta 8 and the Knights 0. Lydiard. Now here's Jackson. Some room to move. Mann is in the dummy half. Sterling. Penalty again. Parramatta. And 5 minutes in the sin bin, obviously repeated offside.
Well, they're going to learn.
David Boyd's going to learn the hard way. That was the 6th offside penalty. It had to come. I thought he might have sin bin someone from the previous penalty after speaking to Michael Hagan. And he's going to have another chat to Hagan, is he? No, he's calling Butterfield over. He's had plenty to say. He might be lucky not to be joining Boyd.
I think he apologised then to the referee. It was a short, sharp conversation. He said only one word, I think, sorry. Although there's not a lot of difference between the crowds at Newcastle and Parramatta.
Mann from just outside the 22. He's missed it. It was nearly in front of the posts. Score remains Parramatta 8, Newcastle 0.
Here comes Doyle. Got through the first tackle. The pass has come back inside, but straight into the arms of Barnes from Parramatta. So it's Barnes who got away from Fulmer. And he's finally pulled down 32 out from the Newcastle line.
The funny thing was there, Barnes was the man that missed the tackle on Doyle. And yet he was in position to pick up the loose ball when it was thrown.
So the penalty going to Parramatta. Let's have a look at that one.
Yes, let's look at it on the Nissan replay. Here's Barnes, having picked up the loose ball, was able to make a good little incursion. And there he is, well, completely unnecessary, coming in like that. Paul Marquette to put added pressure on the tackle player. He's got a little bit of a mouth bleed there.
Well, Scott Mann is about 33 metres out, 10 metres in from touch, 2 from 4. One of those missed was a split decision. Touch judges couldn't agree and the referee said no goal. That was from way out wide too. So Mann, with only seconds remaining to the half-time siren, has the opportunity to send his side to a 10-point lead at the break. The kick is to the right. Can't add the extras. Gordon will bring it back into the field of play, take the tackle, and referee Weeks will signal half-time with Parramatta leading Newcastle by 8 points to 0. Listen, Friday Night Football.
Nice shape up to the Broncos next week. That'll be from Lang Park, Listen Friday Night Football. Just can't afford to lose this one because their last match is against Balmain. Johnson, that's a real strong surge. Lydiard, Fulmer's got him, but he had Peter Sterling. Well, he was tripped up by Fulmer, kicked it ahead. Doyle's got it. Very shaky start by Parramatta to this second half. And a penalty. Maybe the whole theme of this match might turn around. Doyle gives it off to Gordon, who's going to kick for goal.
Yeah, that was a slapdash bit of play there by the Parramatta side. Lydiard was caught on the tackle, got the pass away to, well, here we are, on the pass to Sterling. Sterling tries to kick, gets ankle tapped, barely kicks the ball, kicks it again, and then he does complete a tackle up here, but Lydiard, who's on the chase, is penalised. So it was altogether not Parramatta style.
Talking about crunch games, don't miss the State Bank big game on Sunday. Penrith and Brisbane, two sides that are in line for minor premier honours. Gordon, he's got it. They're on the board at last, the Knights. Parramatta lead Newcastle 8 points to 2. After the telecast tonight, of course, 10 Sports action continues. 1990 World Basketball Championships from Argentina. Mann. Butterfield. Much more positive from Newcastle. Quick play of the balls, and they're getting a nice roll on through Doyle. Now Glanville to continue on with the work. He broke 2 tackles. Make that 3. Fine run from Glanville. Stewart. They are revved up. And McMahon obviously had the right magic at half-time. Worth trying to do a Peter Sterling and weight this down to the in-goal. Lydiard slips. And taken by Hagan. Very important part of the match this opening 5 or 10 minutes. Parramatta going to sleep a little. Greentree. Johnston. 3 nice forwards involved in the tackle. And make a meal of it again. Knockbacks it. The referee. Sterling gets the kick in without any trouble this time. Worth to shape up to the Parramatta defence. Sterling chases, as does Bell, in a good tackle.
In the first 5 minutes of this second half, we've certainly seen more enthusiasm from the Knights. And I suspect the inclusion of Sam Stewart might have something to do with that. He's a very enthusiastic player. And there's Doyle making another half break. This is better stuff. Lindsay Gordon into the corner.
Great tackle by Lydiard.
Ashley Gordon it was who, oh, here come the Knights. They're in to score. Oh, this is magnificent start from the Knights in this second half. Robbie McCormick is the try scorer. But the enthusiasm has paid off.
Yes, a beautiful bit of play there by Newcastle. Now let's watch the play develop. Hagan throws the ball on the outside, pivots, gives it back on the inside. He's got a runner there in McCormick, and McCormick goes in and scores the try right underneath the post. That's the black dot. Now here's the lead up to the try. Fulmer made this little darting run, got a pass away late, looked a little bit suspect, but the referee allowed it to go. Onto Doyle, back to Hagan, then onto Gordon. Gordon goes very strongly. Beautiful tackle by Lydiard that I've already commented on. From the play the ball now, we'll watch. And here they go again. Hagan turns it back on the inside to McCormick, and McCormick finds a channel to go and score a try right underneath the posts.
3 tries for the year for Robbie McCormick, the Carpenter. And from the Muswellbrook Rams.
Peter Sterling will be having plenty to say out there at the moment about the last 7 minutes of this game. With 33 minutes to go in the second half. It's been a pretty near a disaster.
Ashley Gordon from right in front. But the Knights have looked as if they were going to score right from the start of this second half. And this kick for Gordon could tie up the football game. And he makes no mistake. So within a space of 7 minutes of the second half, Newcastle draw level, 8-all.
They wrap it very quickly. A couple of times he showed the ball, Hagan.
He's got to be chopped off very smartly. He's a very clever player on the dummy.
Worth kicking back across the ruck. Mann fell over. Gordon's there. Race for the ball. Lydiard still. Well, now he forces it.
Well, that was a frantic moment for Parramatta. Absolutely frantic. The Nissan replay. Look at this. He falls over as he's just about to take it. The ball is taken into the in-goal area. Look at the hassle and the race. He still hasn't got it. It's gone. It landed on the line eventually. My heavens, that was a near thing.
Lydiard will have the restart. They need a huge lift, Bill, Parramatta.
They sure do. There are a lot of holes starting to appear. The support play of Newcastle is much better than it was in the first 40 minutes. And cracks are opening up in this defensive line. Mick Cronin's got to be seriously thinking about getting someone on to try and close them.
Fulmer. He's been one player who's found a few holes. Glanville. Well, they've gone right to sleep there in the forwards. And he wants a runner. Fulmer. Ducking and weaving. Only operating about 5 or 10 metres either side of the play the ball. Boyd. Worth. Trying to get it out wide. Got to hang on for another tackle, Parramatta. Hagan might go for the field goal. He's got it. Cool as you please. He was the one that called for the 1 point, and he had a mile of time.
Yes, Michael Hagan here really set himself for this. There was a frantic dive by a Parramatta player there at the end to try to touch it in flight, but that was a very well taken field goal. Excellent.
9-8 Newcastle over Parramatta. A bad error. Fulmer. The Eels trying to stay alive in the race for the semi-finals. They had a lift during the week when Cronin agreed to stay for next season as coach. Penalty to Parramatta. Didn't play the ball properly.
Well, let's see that again on the Nissan replay. You're quite right. He did a bit of a somersault, but he didn't touch the ball with his foot. That's Sam Stewart, an international. One would suggest that he should know better.
Great pressure now. McMahon can't believe it. Neither can Sam Stewart as Wynn takes the field, and Mahon tries to handle the pressure of this one. He kicked a lot of sand. That didn't matter. He got enough of the football. 10-9. Parramatta now by a point over Newcastle.
Just 1 point in it. The Eels have their nose in front. Stewart. 32 metres away. Glanville in a game that has all the atmosphere and the feeling of a semi-final. Mullane inside the 22. This is Chapman. Last tackle for the Knights. Gary Worth looking for the 1 point, but it's wide. No change to that score.
The Parramatta side or crowd breathe again as this ball just shaves the outside post, and no field goal recorded there. Still the score 10-9 Parramatta's way.
A very cold night here at Parramatta. The crowd wrapped up but enjoying a really terrific struggle.
Greentree takes over from Goodwin. Peter Wynn taken quickly by Stewart. Langford found a big gap. Down to Worth. Stepping on both feet on occasions there, the second rower. Kenny. McCormick trying to hold him down. Wynn. Can't shrug off McCormack. Sterling wants a field goal. Tried to snap it from dummy half. He did it brilliantly. In a flash, he gets them cleared by another point.
Yes, this is quite extraordinary. He was under a lot of pressure. He had to move sideways from the ruck, from the dummy half area. Just move about 3 paces sideways, and bang, over she went. Gives them an extra point. Parramatta 11, Newcastle 9.
Now they've got to do it on the last. Fulmer. Pressure on Lydiard. He's going to have to run it. Tries a little chip. Miller. So not a good kick from Parramatta because, well, that ball looked to be stolen. 6 more tackles. Came off a Parramatta player, said Weeks. Penalty. Goodwin was hanging onto a leg.
Well, the State Bank replay shows, watch Goodwin now as he gets to his feet. The tackle player there, Fulmer, and he's just pulled that left leg back about, well, nearly a yard. And Fulmer's not that long.
Gordon, he's got it. We are all locked together here at the stadium. The Eels and the Knights, 11-all.
The score level, I don't think the Newcastle side would object all that much if that was the result of the game, but Parramatta, of course, need the win. Now, Wynn was able to offload very smartly for Krankovic. Krankovic over the halfway mark, comes to Worth, got away from Worth, but the defence gets to him now.
Great run.
It was a fine run from Krankovic, and now Lydiard from dummy half gets to the 22, looks to support. Found Laurie. Great opportunity now for Parramatta. Sterling calling for it on the right to Kenny. Kenny's got it back for Sterling. A little prop from the halfback. Found Goodwin. 10 metres away. Last tackle now for Parramatta. From Sterling. Looks for the 1 point wide.
Well, Sterling took the odds to this one. And it's just away to the left. More fractional.
Sterling, very short blindside. Bell. He ran out of room and he handed it back to Mullane. Now Stewart, taken from behind by Wynn. This will be Newcastle's turn to set up for a field goal. Fulmer. Fulmer straightens. Got away, he wasn't held. Stepping Fulmer, Sterling is there. Just when he was needed. Hagan. Late on the try before, not on this occasion. Sterling again involved in the tackle. Miller. They are still very close to the posts if they want the 1 point. Right in front of the goal post. He waits it for McCormick. And they're going to go down to the last tackle. Hagan. He gets it. They waited till the 6th. And they get one more.
Very, very confident he must be about his field goaling, because he waited there, as Graham has said, right for the last minute. And it was a good kick. So the Parramatta side are down by 1 point now. Newcastle 12, Parramatta 11.
Greentree. Mason Bell. Win. Dragged it in one hand. Sterling's one side of the ruck, Kenny the other. Johnston to settle it down. Now Sterling takes over with Kenny. Hasn't been able to get himself clear at all tonight. Sterling, they do want another one. Has it got the weight? It has. Field goal for field goal at Parramatta Stadium. King Sterling. He gets 2 field goals.
Well, this is astonishing. You don't often see this in a game of rugby league, but there from fair distance out and not by any means in a frontal position, he gets one that just drops over. Magnificent kick, 12-all again.
And the crowd so enthusiastic for their Parramatta side. It's a magnificent field goal from Peter Sterling. And he kicked it from wide out, but with the knowledge that he needs to do it again if the Eels are going to win this football game and stay alive in 1990. A draw would go down okay for Newcastle, but Parramatta need the 2 competition points. Here comes Goodwin. They're really desperately seeking their last ounce of strength, these fellows. Win. He's still fresh. 4 minutes to go. Sterling. Now it's with Kenny. This is the last tackle for the Eels. Sterling. Down for Cracker. 10 metres out from his own line. Now the defence is with him and crunches him right on the 22. Magnificent hit. That was Karenak who got him. So the Knights with Gary Worth from dummy half.
That's where the Newcastle side have looked dangerous all night, running from dummy half.
Now Chapman. Parramatta desperately trying to keep the Newcastle side in their own half. Hagan probing for that opening, got a magnificent pass away for Doyle. Doyle's able to stand and offload to Fulmer. Desperation stuff. Last tackle against the Knights. Hagan looking for touch, finds it.
On the line
is out.
Well, have a look at this. It landed right on the line, on the outside edge of the line, which is obviously in touch.
So it's still 12-all. Parramatta and Newcastle. And the Eels now have to bring it down the other end. That's just about the halfway mark. Johnston will play it. Now it's with Bell. Upended. Gary Worth. No, it wasn't. It was Fulmer. Now Katernak. Sterling. Kenny. Jackson. Away for Kregovic, who was hit just as he got the football. Sterling on the last. Kreger has knocked it on.
Worth.
Yeah, Worth it was.
But look at McMahon, the coach there. He's absolutely gone hysterical at the moment. He's the pain on his face. Looking at Worth now. Worth attempting to take the ball on his legs and not have to bend for it. Well, it's all come undone for him.
What an opportunity for Parramatta. It's gone with the feed. Sterling for Kenny. Right across field. Miller just grabbed him. Now Jackson right in front. Where's Sterling? Sterling will need it for the field goal. It's gone the other way for Lydiard. Johnston. Surely Sterling will want it now. No, it's come back for Wynn. Wynn slipped the pass for Katernak, and Kreger has it for Newcastle. Well, Bill, are you surprised?
Yes, I am very much. Peter Sterling wanted to kick that on the second, third play of the ball. He didn't want to wait to the sixth. The players ignored his instructions and kept taking the play to the sideline rather than back to the posts.
Sensations here at Parramatta. You saw Alan McMahon coming from the grandstand to be down on the field. Crunch goes Gordon. Doyle kicking. About half a minute to go. It's down for Lydiard. It has to be a miracle stuff for Parramatta now. Out it comes for Kregovic. Kregovic inside the half. Penalty must go to Parramatta. It does.
Yes, Newcastle players starting to do a few foolish things just to try to waste a bit of time here. You can see the ball being stripped out of Kregovic's hands.
They must kick a field goal on the first or second play of the ball. The siren will sound at any second. Jackson with the restart. Sterling, will he take it now? Yes, he will. Let's have a look at the kick. It's to the left. It's wide. It's wide. The game will finish in a draw. The siren should sound at any moment. In fact, it has. It sounded. Referee Week signals an end. A sensational finish at Parramatta. 12-all draw. Sterling is shattered. The draw will not do Parramatta any good at all. It keeps Newcastle alive. But what a sensational game of football here at the Parramatta Stadium.
An absorbing game of rugby league. Absolutely give and take all the way. There it was. Parramatta's 12 points came from Krankovic, the try. Barn, 3 goals, and Sterling, 2 field goals. Exactly the same issue came on the other side. McCormick, 1 try. Gordon, 3 penalty goals, and Hagan, 2 field goals. So 12 all's the result here at Parramatta Stadium, and a great game of rugby.